I think we don't teach what presence means. We just
Mm-hmm.
simply state it, like
Be
mindset.
present.
Yeah,
You
yeah, be
just say be
present.
present, but I don't feel like
Yeah.
people know what that means. So are there any things that you would say could like help trigger that? Not trigger, but techniques you can
Exactly.
use to help
Hmm.
help do, because just like anything, don't you have to practice it?
Hmm.
And so how can you start to practice that?
Yeah, if we go back to SMART, if it's going to be specific, it's going to be measurable, attainable, realistic, and time sensitive or timely. We have to have, they're called flow triggers. And maybe flow is not the right word anymore. It's a new science. And we're not really sure what's going on, but we know this actually works for people. And the way to get flow triggers is to set yourself up before you train to be in the right
Um,
posture. And that means number one is to have a clear goal. What am I doing and why am I doing it? That's the one thing I find incredibly lacking. I ask somebody why they're doing something like, well, I saw so and so do it and we're all doing it. And I was
yeah.
like, yeah, but why are you doing it? And what do you expect to do? If your brain doesn't know what it's working on, brains are answering machines. We ask them questions and then we relax and they answer it. We've all
Mm,
done that.
mhm.
But in training, we think we have to do all these things and we have to get all these things to get better at it. But basically, what you're doing is with a goal, you're asking yourself a question. Can I do this? Can I do it timely? Can I measure what I'm doing? And then the next step of having that clear goal is we step right up to the line and we have to know that we're fully present. And what that really means is either people dwell in the past or the future. So the past sounds like I'll never make the same mistake again. And you're right, you will, because you just visioned it. You've practiced it.
Right.
Now you're
Y
going to step up. You've seen it clearly in your mind what it looked like. And so now it becomes a self fulfilling prophecy and then it becomes a plateau. And
mm,
what's interfering in the plateau is your ego. And please, nobody take that in a bad way. We all have an ego, it's part of who we are. I don't mean it just being egotistical, but in order to improve, we have to sacrifice that portion of our ego and we have to try something that's unique and new
mhm.
because true arrogance is believing we know the way. Um, I've done it with my instructors. They told me, you ought to really try this. And I was like, yeah, sounds great. I pay you a lot of money, but I'm going to do it my own way. And that's arrogance. It's not necessarily a negative thing, but we think we know better. So if until we let go of that portion of us and we try something new, creativity thrives in humility of trying the
Mm,
new thing, sacrificing it. So having that clear goal and then being present. Now, those that live in the future, it sounds like this. Boy, I hope I don't screw this up.
mhm.
They're always worried about the outcome. But understand this: creativity thrives in uncertainty. You want that. Every day, you guys do something incredibly dangerous, and it's called driving a car. But you could care less because you've forgotten about it. You're familiar with it. You just don't worry about it anymore. And then you see somebody climbing a mountain or jumping out of an airplane or taking an MMA fight or shooting guns, and you're like, boy, that's really dangerous. But what you're really saying is, I don't know enough about it, so I don't have any control over it. So I'm uncertain, so I should fear that. And that's what living in the future feels like. I just don't know what to do yet. So when
Mhm.
we're saying being present is knowing exactly what to do. And the best way to know what you're doing is the next step is immediate feedback. It's got to feed you. Whatever you're doing, you have to be seeing it in real time. And the problem for most people is they live in the past or the future in the feedback loop. It either happens so far and so late it doesn't affect them, or they never really measure themselves, like they're afraid of timers. And that's I should say that differently, but that is the truth. You just don't want to be measured in that moment, so it becomes hard for you. um
That's
I
accountability, isn't it?
yeah,